Ladies and gentlemen, federal employees, how well off are feds in retirement compared to those in the private sector? What are the benefits that you as federal employees enjoy that put you a step ahead in retirement? That's what we're going to dive into today. So even if you're considering leaving the government, at least you know some of the pros and cons to consider, or whether you're joining the retirement as well, you know some of the pros and cons, some of the key benefits, and how valuable they are or aren't in retirement. So that's what we're going to dive into today. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Dallin Haas. I'm a financial planner who serves federal employees just like you, and I love it. So let's dive in. This is the elephant in the room, your pension. Pensions are dinosaurs these days. They're going extinct. They're so expensive to fund and to provide for employees. Very few employers are actually willing to provide them. So just having a pension is so valuable. And as a federal employee, and if you retire with a full federal employee retirement, you would of course get a pension. Now, let's say your pension is about $40,000 a year. Let's say from the federal government, okay? How much is that actually worth, right? Like if you had to compare that to, let's say, working a private sector job and just making more, a bigger salary, how much would it take to replicate a $40,000 pension in retirement? Now, one way to estimate this is many people have heard of the 4% rule, okay? If you haven't heard of the 4% rule, you can look it up. Long story short, though, the 4% rule gives us an idea of how much money you would have to have, how much you would have to have in investments, right? In a TSP or 401k or IRA to be able to produce for you consistently with no problems $40,000 a year for the rest of your life. How much would it take? Long story short, the 4% rule says it takes $1 million. You'd have to have $1 million in investments to consistently, with no problems, produce for yourself $40,000 a year for the rest of your life. Okay? So a $40,000 a year pension, that's worth $1 million when it comes to replacing that and doing that by yourself. That's valuable. That's worth something. Okay? That puts you a step ahead when it comes to planning for retirement. Next, your health insurance, your FEHB. There's a few key pieces of this. Number one, the government pays about 72% of the premiums for your health insurance, and they continue to do that even in retirement as long as you qualify for a full retirement, okay? And so that's a huge benefit that they continue to pay. I've seen a lot of private sector employees that maybe they pay a huge portion of their employees' health insurance as well, but when they retired, they stopped doing that. That's most private sector employers do not pay a large percentage, if any percentage, of their employees' health insurance premiums when they're retired. That's where the big difference is. So number one, what this allows federal employees to do is they can retire before 65. Most private sector employees just don't retire before 65 because that's when Medicare starts. Okay, that's when the government insurance basically starts for the average person. But someone with FEHB can retire before 65 and still have their FEHB and still afford to retire. Most people simply can't pay for their own insurance before age 65. Because imagine if the government's paying 72% of the premiums, if you're paying, let's say, $300 a month, the government's paying what? $900 a month or whatever the math comes out to, right? A huge amount. So to pay for the entire policy yourself, that gets expensive. So that is a huge benefit. That it helps you while working and in retirement, puts you a leg up. Now, TSP. This is a big one as well. I've seen a lot of different employer plans like 401ks, 403bs. I've seen lots. And it's very rare that I see a plan that actually works better, has lower fees, and is simpler and better than TSP. It's very rare. TSP is in the top 5 percentile of all the plans I've ever seen. Okay, it's very, very good. It's got a 5% match, right? 5% match. I've seen some employers with higher, but it's solid, right? It's solid. And the funds you have access to in TSP, they're great. They're great. They're simple. They're straightforward. They have incredibly low fees. It is a great benefit. So you put all these things together. You get a pension. You have great health insurance that you can take into retirement. The government keeps paying for. You've got a great place to save and invest. As long as you know what you have, you invest well, you can have a great retirement as a federal employee. You just got to know what you have and understand how to work the benefits to your favor, okay? So I hope that's hopefully gives you a sense of some of the key benefits you'll have in retirement and how it helps you have a step up above those that don't enjoy the great benefits. I hope that's helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video.